My name is Ruth Levine. I'm the Director of the Global Development and Population Program at the Hewlett Foundation in California. Think tanks play this really crucial role of asking questions that can be answered with empirical information and analyses about key policy issues, and then having the results from their research communicated to the policy community in ways that correspond to the questions that policymakers are asking. Think tanks are this crucial bridge between rigorous empirical analysis and the uses that research can be put to in policymaking. I think that each think tank has its own dynamic from the time it's founded through its whole kind of lifespan. If you think about kind of trends in think tanks, what I've seen is an increase in the number of think tanks, particularly in the global south, an increase in the kind of technical capacity and professionalism of those who work in think tanks, hopefully an increase in the capacity of governments to take on board the research findings that think tanks are offering to them. I've also seen in recent years some negative trends toward kind of closing of space in some countries to input from civil society generally, and including independent think tanks. So in general, there's been a positive trend, and I think also some warning signs more recently. I think one of the really positive developments in the world of think tanks is a growing set of connections among think tanks in different countries. So often think tanks in the same country are competing with one another for resources and for space in the policy community. And they may also have conflicts based on their political perspective or their methodological approach. But I think there's a lot of opportunity for think tanks to connect with like-minded think tanks in other countries, to explore, to learn from one another, and also to explore these kind of cross-border issues, whether it's climate change or health issues or migration. There's really a lot of opportunity in the connections between think tanks from one country to the next. I think one of the values that independent think tanks bring to the kind of policy ecosystem is an ability to do research that really is relevant for the national policy context, and that has a perspective that's separate from government and separate from the interests of any particular funder. And the way to give a think tank space for that is to provide unrestricted organizational support. So I think what think tanks have to do is take on the hard job of really articulating the value proposition of that independence and why it's so essential that funders support that characteristic that they have.